Hello viewers, in this video we're going to discuss how to install Oracle Real Application Cluster 12c in Linux 6.5 64-bit. It's a series of videos. We're going to do the process separate videos. Today we're going to discuss about the architecture and pre-installation tasks, and then we're going to discuss about the grid infrastructure installation, and then in the next video we're going to install the Oracle software and then create the RAC Real Application Cluster database. So let's begin with our today's session. In this session we're going to discuss about the little bit of architecture and the prerequisites work that we have to do to install Oracle Application Cluster 12c. So let's begin with it. So this is the architecture we have to comply with to create a Real Application Cluster database in Oracle 12c. We have two nodes, two standalone servers which are indicated as node here, and a shared storage. And you see one public network which is the network of your organization. There is a domain network of your organization which will share the public IP in between them, and there must be a private network between the nodes. So in this architecture, each standalone servers are teamed up to create a real application cluster which share a shared storage media. So here we need a private network which is not related to a public network, which is of the different network IP from the public, but here the nodes can communicate between themselves with this private network. Here in this architecture I have shown only two nodes because my intention here is to create a two-node Oracle Real Application Cluster, but you can add more nodes as you wish. In this architecture, you see from in the earlier version of Oracle, they supported cross cabling for internal networking. But here, from the 11.2 and onward, Oracle has come up with an idea of CAN and SCAN name and a private network. You see, if you use a switch in between these nodes, you can add as many nodes as you want without any complex cabling. But in case of cross cabling, the number of nodes increases, the number of cabling also increases. But in this architecture, you can also only add a simple network between themselves, and this network is different from the public network, and within this network you can add as many nodes as you want very easily. So this is the architecture. What we need here is two standalone servers which will have same processor architecture. We are using here is Intel 64-bit architecture, and we are using the same operating system, Oracle Linux 6.5 64-bit. And here's the IP requirement, network requirement for our real application cluster. For node 1, public IP is specified, and node 2 is also specified. In the private IP, you see the network IP of node 1 and node 2 is different than the public IP of node 1 and node 2. You see network part here is 192.168 and 100, and you see in private IP it is 200, and node 2 is for node 2 public IP is this one, and node 1 for private IP this one, and for node 2 private IP is this one 101, and virtual IP is also 121. Notice here that public IP and virtual IP are of same network. You must remember that public IP and virtual IP must be of the same network, and private IP must be different from the public IP and virtual IP network. Okay, and host name is this one. For node 1 it is rac1.testlab.com, and for node 2 it is rac2.testlab.com. A very important concept that is brought forward from the 11.2 and onward is SCAN, Single Client Access Name, which is the network gateway of the Real Application Cluster database. In earlier versions of the database, all the jobs have to be done with virtual IPs. But here, virtual IP is not actually accessed through TNS. TNS only accesses the SCAN IP. Here I have mentioned same name db-scan.testlab.com for 3 IPs. Notice that 192.168.100 and 130 are in same network as it was in public and virtual IP. You see, public IP is also 100, virtual IP is also 100, and scan IP is also 100. Okay, why I have mentioned 3 IPs for the same scan name? Because the concept of the scan name is that you provide you make 3 entries for the same scan name with 3 IPs in your DNS, so that these 3 IPs can load balance the network traffic of the database. Now we will have to make some changes in our servers as root user. So these are the changes we're going to do in our next presentation. So this is the processes is written here. Now we'll do it in practice. And one thing is we are using the OpenFiler, which is open source storage system, and we are using that one. As you can have the demonstration of OpenFiler configuration in my earlier video. There I have shown how to configure OpenFiler to create ASM disk, and you have to go through all this stuff. You can see that in my other video. And here we are going to do the next part after we have created this logical volume in the OpenFiler, and we will only access from this server to those, and we will create primary partition here. So up until then, the logical volumes has been created, but it's not been discovered by the servers yet. We're gonna do it in this session. So let's begin with our process. You see, this prerequisites work has to be done in both servers. So, and we'll do it one by one. First, we're gonna do it in node 1. We're gonna in the node 1 we are logged in as root user. So firewall has been down. We have to check config firewall off. That is, it will remain off when it is rebooted. We're gonna configure SE Linux. SE Linux has been disabled. Now we will create the groups, OS groups. OS groups have been created. Now users has to be created. You see, we have created, these are the groups have been created: ASM admin, ASM DBA, ASM opper, OInstall, DBA, and opper. Among these groups, we will assign we will also create grid user and Oracle user. Grid user will be the administrator for the ASM, and Oracle user will be the administrator for the database. So for both the grid user and Oracle users, OInstall is the primary group, and for grid user, ASM admin, ASM DBA, ASM opper is the secondary group, and for Oracle user, OInstall is the primary group, and DBA, ASM DBA opper is the secondary group. Now the same has been created here. Now we will create so grid user and Oracle user has been created. Now we will change password of passwd grid. Password has been changed. Passwd Oracle. Okay. Oracle user password has been changed. Now we're going to create. So these are the directories we have to create. Okay. This is the base location, and this is the grid base, and this is the grid home. This is the Oracle base, and Oracle home will be created in our installation process. So let's do it. Okay. Okay, it's been created. Now we'll assign the ownership to the users and also change the change mode of the location U01. Sorry, there's some problem here, and this one is you'll have to do this one also. Ch on. Okay. Now what you will have to do is you will have to install a series of RPMs, which is very important, which is required for installation of Oracle Grid and Oracle software. To do that, you will have to move to in this location. I have already copied these RPMs here. You can do this your way. So we will check if this okay. Control C. Already installed. Now let's this one. Let's see if it is installed. Already installed. You have to go to this location to see all full list of RPMs. Let's go to this location. What it looks like. Here it is. You can. Here's the list. This is for Oracle 7, and this is for Oracle 6 or something like or anything. These are the list of RPMs you have to install, and we're going through that process right now. Oracle support. This one is this was not installed, so this one has been installed. This is very important for ASM disk support. Now you will have to do this one. You see, this particular package is not available in your Linux installation disk, so you will have to download this one from Oracle site and install it. You must do it, otherwise your ASM will not work properly. And these are some 32-bit packages which is I found required for the universal installer to begin with, so I am installing it. Okay, the installation has been complete. One of the biggest part of the pre-installation task has been complete. Remember, I have done it in one node, and in the other node, you'll have to do this as well. What we will do is we will complete one node first, then we'll do it in the other node. Now our RPMs has been installed. Now we'll have to make changes in these 5 files, system files. You see, etc sysctl.conf, etc pem.d/login, etc/security/limits.conf, etc profile, and etc host. These are the files you will have to make changes in, and you will have to do this in as logging in as root user. Okay, let's do it. Okay, this one has been changed. And so we'll copy this and then append in this file and then save. Now we'll make it permanent by sbean sysctl tl. Okay, this is permanent. Now let's see what is the configuration. Notice that it is for 3 GB RAM. In my servers, I have configured these two with 3 GB RAM. Now, you see, this is very important, which is kernel SHM max. This is very important. What is this? This one is actually the representation of your or memory in bytes, and then the maximum you can allow is the number of the amount of memory expressed in byte -1. So I have done it here. The memory expressed in byte -100. This is the size I have done here, and the SHM MMI and SHM MNI is the size fixed 4 kilo size fixed. This is the page size, and SHM all kernel.shm all is the SHM max divided by SHM MNI, which is expressed in whole number. Okay, this is what this is. In this three configuration parameters, you can make changes, and other things may be unchanged. Okay, now we will make changes in these two files, spamd login and in limits.conf. Okay. These are two lines you have to append and save it, and also for vi for limits.conf. Also append the following parameters for Oracle and grid users also. You see, in this installation we are sharing the operation. Grid ASM is managed by grid user and database is managed by Oracle. We have separated the roles. So we created two different users, and that's why these two different users has to be taken care of in this configuration. Okay. Now a very important issue is etc profile. etc profile you will have to. Okay. Now this is very tricky, very important. You see, for Oracle or for grid, the same, and this is you can get this code anywhere in the website, and I have collected it from that website also. This is the very important but very simple code. You will have to append this code in profile. Okay, saved. Now all important etc host, very important. Now you see we will add public, private, virtual and scan name in our etc host file. In our host file you add public IP, private IP, virtual IP and scan IP. You see, I have mentioned scan IP here once only 130, because we are not using DNS. So this is the configuration I am going to change in host file. Okay, now vi etc host. Now you will have to just copy these. See, and just paste it here. Scan name here. One other thing I think we should add here is the ASM data part. Although it's not very important, but I think we should add this here. And remember, this configuration will be same for node 2 also. All these lines have to be added to node 2. So we are first making change in node 1, and similar changes have to be done in node 2 also, and then we can begin with our installation. Okay, it is been saved. So save it. Okay, save. Now installation task for pre-installation task as root user has come to finish line, but now we'll have to configure our ASM, and from the both nodes we will in RAC 1 and RAC 2 we'll discover. Now let's fdisk minus L. Let's see how many disks are there. There are only 3 partitions. So we will now discover ISC ADM discovery minus T send targets minus P 192.168.100.202. Okay, the target is found. Now similar task has to be done in RAC 2 also. Let's do it here. Now fdisk minus L from node 2. This is the same scenario here. Now we'll discover iSCSI ADM minus I minus M discovery minus T send targets minus P 192.168.100.202. This is the IP of OpenFiler. Remember one thing, in a production environment you need not do this. You will have readily available LAN assigned from the your SAN by your system administrator, so you need not do this. But because we are doing it in our virtual machines in a test environment, we are using OpenFiler. Okay, now let's discover is ADM send targets. Okay, is this one is found. Now what we will have to do, we will have to reboot. We're gonna reboot both servers so that we can and have the disks available in our list. Root user password in the both servers. Root user, let's clear it. Okay. Now let's check fdisk minus L. You see, huge number of disks has been added. To both servers. Okay. Now you see these disks, these volumes are not partitioned. Now we will have to make partition of these disks, and we will have to configure ASM disk of these partitions. Now from node 1, remember the following operations must be done from one node, and we are doing it from node 1, and the other node from the other node, we're going to do nothing. The following operation must be done from one node and one node only. So we will make primary partition of these devices. Now f disk minus f disk minus slash dev sdb. Okay. Now go on. Continue. N primary 1, then enter, then P SDB1 is created. Now write the changes in the disk. Make it okay. Partition has been altered. Now for C also same. N P now N. Enter new P1 enter PW. Now 0 not available. Now let's F disk minus L. Okay, all the disks has been partitioned. Now we will configure the grid. We will configure grid user for ASM. Before that, we will reboot from the both servers.